Hi there, Mike here. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my couch gaming setup on Bazzite KDE Desktop Edition. This is for you if game mode is missing or not available for your GPU, whether you're on an older graphics card or an Nvidia GPU where game mode just isn't cooperating. This guide will show you exactly how to configure your system for seamless controller-based gaming from your couch. Now you might be wondering why we need this setup at all. The thing is, Bazzite's Game Mode, that Steam Deck-like interface that boots directly into full-screen Steam, isn't available on some hardware due to GPU limitations. But don't worry, with some simple tweaks to KDE settings and Steam settings, we can create something very similar that gives us a more console-like experience. So by the end of this video, you'll have a setup that boots directly into big picture mode and feels a lot more like a gaming console. Let's dive in. Let's first set up auto login so we don't have to enter credentials every time we boot up our gaming system. Open System Settings. Let's search for the Login Screen tab. Check Automatically Login. Select your user from the drop-down and click on Apply. You'll be prompted to enter your user password to confirm the change. Go ahead and do that, and the settings will be saved. When you enable auto login, the system will recommend setting a blank password for your KDE Wallet. This is important. Without it, you'll be asked to enter your password when you try and connect to Wi-Fi or access other KDE Wallet protected services. Since we're aiming for controller-only couch setup, we don't want password prompts popping up for everyday tasks like getting online. For me, this Open KDE Wallet Settings button doesn't actually work. It seems to be a KDE-specific glitch, so instead we'll use a workaround. Search for the KDE Wallet Manager app and open it. Click on Open, click on Change Password, leave the password field blank, click on OK, and click on Yes when prompted. Next, let's make sure the desktop starts clean every time we start it. By default, KDE is set to restore whatever apps and windows were open when you last shut down. This is fine for a normal desktop workflow, but for couch gaming, it can get in the way. You might end up with a browser, file manager, or other windows sitting behind Steam when big picture mode launches. Open System Settings. Search for Desktop Session. Change the on-login launch apps that were open to Start with an empty session. Click on Apply to apply the change. Screen locking isn't ideal for a couch gaming experience either, since you'd need to grab a keyboard to enter your password every time the screen locks. Open System Settings, search for Screen Locking, disable Screen Lock automatically by setting it to Never, and untick Lock after waking from sleep while we're here, and click on Apply. One quick note before we move on. This is a convenience over security setup, and that's intentional for a dedicated couch gaming machine. Auto login, no screen lock, and a blank KDE Wallet password mean anyone with physical access to the system can use it. That's fine for a living room home theater PC or a gaming box, but I wouldn't configure a daily driver or work machine this way. If you want to go further with the console-like feel, you can tweak your power management settings, though this step is entirely optional. Open System Settings and search for Power Management. From here, you might configure the machine to auto-suspend when it's inactive, or adjust the screen to dim or turn off the screen to suit your setup. If you enable auto-suspend, be aware that older Nvidia GPUs in particular can have trouble waking up reliably, so test that carefully before enabling it. If you're on a laptop, you can set the battery charge limit under Configure Advanced Settings, which is useful if your couch gaming machine stays plugged in most of the time. That covers the KDE system settings we need. Now let's configure Steam for the optimal couch gaming experience. Open Steam Settings and navigate to the Interface tab. Toggle on Start Steam in Big Picture mode. Since Bazzite already launches Steam automatically, no extra auto start changes are needed. If you find that Big Picture mode feels laggy, check whether Enable GPU Accelerated Rendering in Web Views is turned off. Enabling the setting can make Big Picture mode much smoother, but on some Nvidia GPUs, it can cause menu glitches. You'll want to test both options and see which works better for your hardware. Now switch to the In-Game tab and turn on Use Big Picture Overlay when using a controller. This turns on the SteamOS style menus when you press the guide button. So Steam Big Picture mode works more like game mode, making it much easier to tweak controller mappings and access Steam features without reaching for a keyboard and mouse. Now's a good time to restart the machine and make sure that everything works end to end. And after a few seconds, you'll land straight into the desktop, and a few seconds after that, we will be in Big Picture mode, without any login screen, KDE Wallet prompts, or stray desktop windows getting in the way. Grab your controller, press the guide button, and confirm the Steam overlay comes up. If anything's off, work back through the settings we just changed. And that's it. Now you have your Bazzite KDE system configured for couch gaming, even when game mode isn't an option on your GPU. These settings will give you that console-like experience where you can power on your system, grab your controller, and start gaming without needing to touch a keyboard or mouse. If you found this guide helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want to see more Bazzite tutorials, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you run into any issues with these settings, drop a comment below, and I'll do my best to help you out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.